Jazz age living, whole fashion sipping, pizzazz ain't missing, got the fat cat.
Has there been an explosion in a lot of the sports betting? I mean, maybe these two are correlated because you have both the legalization within states, as you mentioned, but also people just being home from the pandemic. I mean, we didn't have sports for a while there, or at least there was hesitation about what sports would go forward and how. NBA bubble being probably our earliest like solid example of a league or a sport taking this really seriously and saying like we can find a way to do this. Has there been any way to kind of identify that during the pandemic there's just been a massive uptick in betting from home and your casual betting better?
Absolutely. No, the COVID-19 has changed. I think sped up a process that was going to happen anyway. Just moving more towards mobile betting and stuff. Like we're already moving in that direction. I think it's 4 states that are, because that's the other thing about this stuff is every state market is different. Every state law is different. In some states, including Illinois, we changed ours on the fly with Governor Pritzker. You have to actually tip the cap to him because of his executive orders lifting the in-person registration requirements. So you could just register from these apps on your phone. That was not supposed to be a thing here for a year and a half. And some states like Iowa didn't change it until theirs went into effect on January 1 this year, where you can register from your couch. But some states were struggled because of that. But there was definitely like a clear just uptick, like you said, especially with all the sports happening at the same time, with people just registering and betting from their phones. And you saw it reflected in the revenue numbers. Now, I mean, New Jersey just fell south of $1 billion in handle in December, which is absolutely nuts because the whole state took in 2019, New Jersey, 4.58, I want to say it was, just off the top of my head, $1 billion in handle in the whole calendar year. And there was just $1 billion in 1 month alone last year. So it's just, that's the way we're moving. And Gen Z, obviously everyone knows that they just want to be on their couch and not talk to a human being and just, and do it from their phone. So we're moving in that direction. And states that have those archaic laws requiring people to go in person and do it are adjusting on the fly now. And those that are not adjusting are suffering as a result because they're not getting any money. People are keeping their action offshore and with their corner bookie and stuff.
How much do you think I guess record or lifetime high of state debt has influenced states' desires to have the legalization, the regulation, the taxation of sports betting like this?
Another perfect I talked about this on my podcast the past couple episodes. This is the pandemic
Juice podcast. Tune in.
It's forcing people. States to change their tune, and the biggest example of that is Governor Cuomo in New York. I mean, he's been the one because sports betting is legal in New York, but you have to do it in person, and they don't have mobile set up, and so everyone's driving over to New Jersey, and that's why New Jersey's just reaping the benefits of that, and it's because of Cuomo. It's complicated too, but Cuomo's really been the one who's been the one who's been keeping
the stalwart holdout.
Yeah, exactly. He's not letting it be, but now he's changing his tune because they're about New York City's on the verge of a financial crisis. So he's just a couple weeks ago, he was all over the news for changing his course on that. But now he's fucking it up the way he wants to set it up. And I won't get it. He wants to do the lottery system, and Oregon's been doing that, and in DC, and no one's betting there. So you are seeing states change their tune on this, and they're going to get more desperate for state revenue. So it's going to motivate lawmakers and regulators to move fast. I mean, we've seen just this week other states, even Texas came out of nowhere, and that's a state you don't expect to legalize it anytime soon. But there's some lawmakers there that are introducing bills as well.
What's the lottery system?
So basically, the lottery system, the way that's set up is just the lottery controls all betting. So there's not, you don't have like multiple. There's no competition. There's not like you don't have like your DraftKings and your FanDuels and stuff. Although New Hampshire is an example of a lottery system that just contracted with one operator, and that's DraftKings, to handle everything. But the problem when you do that is there's no competition, and so like the line, the odds are whatever they want the odds to be. You saw Montana do this actually on the first. When I'll never forget when Illinois sports betting launched on March 9th, Montana had just launched, and Montana, the odds were coming out. Like people were taking screenshots of the odds coming out of the book in Montana because the only book in town there, and they're offering like minus 125 juice on both sides, and that's just, it's just no one's going to bet into that. Anybody that understands sports bet, even like a casual bettor, is not going to do it for long, and it's just going to keep money offshore and stuff, and it's going to keep money in the black market, and as a result, you've seen Montana make like no money. Same with Oregon, and you're seeing Oregon now shift. The governor in Oregon's backing a new bill that's going to reshift the way that they have their setup, because they've had their setup in a lottery system too for the past, I forget when they launched, but it's been a while.
For those, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, why would they do that? Like, is this some sort of like moral high ground or?
Yep, that's a perfect way to put it. Yeah, it's like it's their heads in the sand on it. They think that if they control it, they're going to make more money somehow. It's just like a fundamental misunderstanding. They think that they can, if they're the ones making more money. You even saw Cuomo say like last week,
the government, so.
He said he doesn't want to make casinos rich. He wants to make the state rich, but he doesn't understand that like that system that he's trying to put in, a lottery system where they control everything, is going to be the worst system. It's just not going to work. And there's already case studies that are playing out in that regard. So,
and those policies have worked so well for New York so far. Why would he dare change?